Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. Doing a video on the webcam tonight. This might be our second video using this method. I checked out the first video I did and the audio was great. I'm unsure of how the picture is because it could be my internet speed, but the camera does a little bit grainy. If that's the case, how it is online, I will work on getting an upgraded software for the camera. But if you like it, just please let me know in the comments or send me a PM if you have any tips. But this video is called "Worse Than Alcohol." Now, I guess when we talk about alcohol, one of the things that can come up is the discussion about getting drunk or getting tipsy or things like that. Some people may stay away because they figure they can't handle it, which I respect. If you believe that you run a chance of abusing it, then maybe it's best that you stay clear of it than over trying to figure out how can I control it. So bad things can happen when people get drunk. But in this video, I won't be talking about alcohol necessarily, but the topic of power. Yes, power. People can't get drunk off power. If you don't think so, watch someone who just got a new position on the job and see how that position affects them. They may let it get to their head, and they'll start to think that they're above the people that they used to actually be on the same level with on the job. They would think they start to think that they're above people that they once made the same amount of money with, maybe even less. So there's something to think about. And how this relates to SHTF, a good question. How we conduct ourselves around other people will show whether we're fit to wield any power or fit to have any power in our grasp. For example, you may be a person who let's say on the block, let's say there are 10 houses and your house may be the only one that has food and water, weapons, some type of renewable energy source, and other people don't have that. Now, rather than letting people know that they need to have these things, it may be good for them to have them. You let time go by and they don't have them, and then when people start getting desperate, someone may come to your door and ask you, "Hey, man, listen, I'm hurting. My family's hurting. We need food. We have a hard time finding water. We're defenseless. Could you help us?" You are in a position right now that I say is the best time to humble yourself and offer assistance any way you can. Now, that's not saying that you would put yourself at risk, to take care of someone else, especially if you have a family of your own to take care of. But what you don't want to do is be the type of person that will use the trains going by. Use the amount of power that you have, be it with guns or water or food. Use that as a tool of control over people that may come to you for help. Because you do it long enough, I think the situation can get real ugly to where you start demanding unrealistic or immoral things from the people that you're supposed to help. I'm pretty sure we could take a big look at things that go on in Washington and see how power affects people. We look at people in our job, or look at some people we encounter in our day-to-day lives. And it doesn't even have to be a big position. It's just that if anyone thinks that they have power, they're wielding some sort of power, no matter how small it is, whether they're the CEO of a company or the janitor who just has a key to certain rooms, or just knows how to get the toilet paper put on the roll properly, that any sort of power can be abused. And one thing we have to look within ourselves is, we have to ask ourselves, can we handle power? Can we handle being in a position of power? Even if it is something as small as, like I said, you're a janitor and you have the keys to different rooms. Would you use that power in the in a humble manner and in a proper manner, in the right way, or were you maybe misuse it a few times and then later then be on the road to abusing it? So in relation to SACF, going back to the family situation, me personally, I wouldn't want, if I knew I had all this stuff and I knew I could use it as leverage against someone who's desperate, I would refuse to do it. I couldn't do it because I know it's the wrong thing to do. It may gain me some things down the road, but in the long run, I would ask myself, have I become what I'm against? One of the things I don't like personally, I'm not really all that fond of power. I'm not that fond of high positions. I'm not that fond of titles, things like that. I'm not really a fan of lording over someone who else, especially if if they need my help. Now, if someone needs my help, I would do my best to make it to where they'll be on the road to take care of themselves. I'd rather for people to be independent and be able to fend for themselves, rather than have to always depend on someone else for their basic needs. Whether it be food, water, shelter, security, things like that. So I think it's good if we take a look at ourselves, and ask ourselves that question. If I ever come in this position of power, or even if I've been in a position of power, have I abused it, or will I abuse? Do I run a chance of abusing it? I remember going back to this conversation I had with some friends of mine when they talked about if things go down, they had to pick a leader out of our group of friends, who they pick, and they said they picked me. And I said, why? I wouldn't want to do that. And they said, that's exactly why, because you wouldn't want to. And I'm not trying to speak highly of myself, but just noting that, recognizing that you don't want to be in a position of power may show that it would be fitting for you to actually hold that position. As if the time calls for it. And for those who would want to seek power, who would want to use whatever they have as leverage against other people, especially weak people, I say be mindful of them. If they're people that you know personally, be careful in your dealings with them. Watch how they try to do the same thing to you. And they may do it, they may do it overtly, but if they can't do it that way, they may do it covertly. They may try to do it subliminally, on the radar. So if you know people like that, watch their intentions. Because should something happen, you don't want to find yourself, potentially being under that person's thumb. And some people like that. Some people like to put other people underneath their thumb. They like to be very controlling. They like to have things, their way, and my way or the highway, which is cool. I guess if it's your stuff, and that's cool. We don't have to do business. But when it comes to those who are seeking help, who are defenseless, who are scared, who don't know what's going on, they even more so they have people that they have people that are dependent on them, like a parent or a husband or some type of caretaker. You don't want to be that kind of person who's going to use that to your advantage to try to take it, to try to exploit that person for whatever they have in their own possession. And because power can be intoxicating. I remember actually watching a video by Dimcad a while back, and he noted. I don't have the article pulled up. I may put a link in the description box if I can find it again. But I remember he talked about there was a scientific study that showed that power has similar effects on the brain as cocaine. Cocaine is an addictive drug, and power, if left unchecked, can be very addictive. So basically, I'm asking for all of us out there, including myself, because I'm human. I'm susceptible to those kind of things as well. That we try to humble ourselves. Try to remember that we may be wielding power, we may be in a position of power, but that doesn't mean we should let the power take over us and cause us to do things that we would otherwise do. Cause us to do things that would harm others, who actually may be seeking our help. And if we can do that, then we'd be in good shape as far as spreading, showing love and hospitality to one another, especially strangers. I just got done watching a video by General S. Lee. I'm trying to catch up on all this videos I missed when my computer was down. Well, it's disarming dissertations, and I left a comment on that video about how if you call to disarm someone when they're trying to seek help from you, you're pretty much putting yourself in a position to where you're responsible for their safety, which can seem like is in a way gaining more power, but that power could be abused. I mean, if you start off with disarming a person, what's stopping you from ordering that person around or forcing them to give up things that they normally wouldn't give up, forcing them to do things they wouldn't normally do? So, and I said, I wouldn't if someone came to me, if they were a stranger, I wouldn't want them disarming themselves. It'd be cool if they said, no, they asked me, do you want me to disarm? I would say, no, I don't want you to disarm. I want you to be responsible for your safety. And I think it's also civil behavior to use whatever position of authority or whatever power you have. Use it in a humble manner. Use it to actually help people, not to harm them. Whether coercively or aggressively. But those are my thoughts about power. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of it, but I'm aware I possess some power myself, even with this video, and also with other tools I have in my possession. But I also recognize that there's power out there. So I believe that we must not let ourselves get drunk on power. We must not let ourselves stay sober if all possible. If we are in a position of power, we must learn to control it. We must, learn to keep it from overwhelming us to where we start doing things that could be a nuisance in the right now, or later becoming a huge menace down the road. But those are my thoughts. Please share your thoughts in the comment section, or make a video response if you have any gripes or complaints. You know the drill. But that's my video. I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.